Well, y'all, it's Tuesday, June 13th, 2023. I needed to get my brush cutter out to just whack some grass down over here, and I was feeling in a kind of frontage sort of mood. So what's been going on is I've been sitting against my azuki beans tonight, because I told myself that was the one thing that I was going to get done today, and I haven't gotten it done. It's about 7 p.m. So I know it doesn't look like much now, but when we get down in there, maybe you'll see. Oh snap, I got a really big piece of gravel in my shoe. Sorry about that. So if you recall, my mower has a bearing issue, and I just took my brush cutter in through here. I haven't gotten all of the thistles out. This is going to be my future tripod. Okay. But I've been going after these willows that have just taken over. I like to curate my willows, curate my weeds. I would usually keep little habitat zones in here. I don't know where I'm going to put the other one, but it has been very satisfying going through here and walking down some of these willows. So I don't know if my little camera setup is going to be very good or not, because I'm just going to go after these willows with my brush cutter for a little while for you, mostly just so that I have it for myself as well. This is my system. See, I need sticks behind my tablet and in front of my tablet so it doesn't fall over. Now let's see here. I don't know, can you see these different areas? Because this area here and this area over here, I think, is what I'm going to be going after. And I'm going to just try to zippity-doo-dah some real quick for you. I didn't do this earlier because I'm uploading some videos right now, but I had to go in for a drink break, so I figured, hey, why not? see. I gotta go get more gas for it. I'm gonna get some more gas and then we're gonna do a little bit over here. So now obviously you're supposed to be using ear protection and eye protection when you do this, but I just don't care that much, unfortunately. Okay, don't do what I do, folks. Now this stuff here is what I had in my brush cutter when I put it up 2 years ago, and I was just curious because on here, I think, is this the same stuff? I think so. Yeah, it says excellent for long-term storage. And it is what I had in the garage. My brush cutter fired right up after 2 years with this in the engine, and it worked just fine. I was shocked. Okay, so it's a little pricey, but for a tool that you're not using all the time, I think it's worth it. Let's see what the view is like here. Maybe I'm actually just, whoop, pick up my tablet. Obviously you shouldn't keep these laying like this for very long. Now this thing, you can attach different heads to this. So there's a weed whacker head, there's a pole saw head that I could buy when I've got the money for it eventually. I've never actually had the weed whacker head on there before because I'm lazy, and then I tend to have some kind of thicker stuff. So this is this area in through here. Now this grass with these triangle stalks is very beautiful. So I'm gonna let that grow. I'm gonna eventually be opening up this pathway through here because usually this little thing of willows is much smaller. I might end up getting rid of it altogether. It was real little when I let it live in there. Now my lawnmower, when it's working, can cut these down, but the really skinny young ones sometimes get wound up in the blades, and then I have to go and cut them out with my pocket knife, which I don't know where my pocket knife is right now. So anyways, I'm gonna, I think maybe, how should I move this? I think what I'm gonna do is, I don't know, I'm gonna bring my little milk crates over here and move this sucker. I think the reason why I do like changing activities is because it works different muscle groups, as I mentioned. So I still got to get in through here. I got to clear out around that ornamental grass that my late neighbor who passed away gave to me. I'll put these clumps up here. Now, I had to work around a couple cages that used to have black elderberries in them, and they were young when I put them in, and wasn't really expecting to take off. And now I got a willow growing in this one. So that's a little bit sad because I was hoping to mix the seeds because they're both patented plants. So I wouldn't have been able to take cuttings of them to propagate. But now one thing that I did find when I was in here that I thought was a goner was my original black willow that I replanted here, and I thought it was a goner. So I got that $10 clearance one. But I'll put a little path in through here. I'll run through there with my mower when it's running, put a path in through here. Now willows are a very useful homestead kind of plant. They're also good for animal fodder. You can build things with them, you can cut them, you can make live willow structures, all sorts of stuff. They just take some work to maintain and control. Now I probably shouldn't be back in here, but it is what it is. Oh, I'm a little bit out of breath. I'm out of shape, guys. I will show you a little bit of what I've got going on back in here. So obviously I gotta get back in through here again, because what happened is I didn't put up the big orange stuff around my pawpaw cages, and this one just had a little cage. Oh, the mosquitoes are real bad through here because it's moist. But this here is a sunflower pawpaw, so I gotta recage this. I'm gonna make a big tall one with big supports. I got back in here so much spittlebug and everything. Back in here I gotta get this vine off of here. But in here I've got, well, there's a weed growing in there with it, but that's an NC1 pawpaw. And then, let's see, there's an iris blooming over there. I worked on, there was like a lot of fallen deadwood back in here and a lot of willows, and I had to clear a bunch of stuff. I'm going to have to work to keep clearing this area. But these willow poles, some of them do get really huge. They'll grow into whole trees. Some people use them as a renewable source of firewood, the big tree-sized willows. But it's one of the earliest flowers that comes out. Sorry, I'm doing war with the mosquitoes right now. I just wanted to show you, let's see. Sorry for the meander, it's so overgrown in through here. I'm gonna end up clearing a lot of this area. So this pawpaw I checked earlier. It's amazing how much this is overgrown since just the last time I was back in here right when I got home. But this was, in this double cage, was an overleased pawpaw, and I did put this one in a big old cage, but the weeds have just gotten to it. I didn't have weed cloth. It's one of those things I said I was gonna do it later, and I didn't do it later. So that one didn't make it, but I have one more that I actually gotta be careful when I'm back in here. I do have one more pawpaw back in here somewhere, but I'm gonna have to find it later. Anyways, this video is getting kind of long. I gotta take off my gloves so that I can actually successfully push the stop button. Well, we'll go see how much water is flowing real quick. Oi, oi, oi. I need to clear all of this, but look at these. They're mixed in with grasses, but there's a whole lot of them. And they're beautiful, and they'll just kind of keep expanding. Now, so I don't know if you can tell, but this stuff, so this is eye level. I got the camera eye level right now, and some of these grasses are just above my eye level. So this whole area down here gets real crazy. Now I put a lot of dead willows that I had cleared down through here, so there's a little bit of a path left over. I'm trying to make it to the spring. Guys, it's the jungle back here. Well, I have boots that are waterproof a little ways, so maybe I'll be okay. Yikes. I just don't know when I'm going to step in like a big puddle. So I do got to trench this out a little bit because there was just a little watering hole here from this spring. And some other water does also kind of run in through here and around here. There's like actually a channel that runs back in here. But anything under 2 feet deep doesn't count as a pond. And even though this is kind of like a little bit of a wetland area, this is also a farm property. It's just overgrown right now. So I gotta get some stuff under control, but that's gonna be all for today, everybody. I think, I don't know, maybe I'll do I got some sunlight left over here, so if I do get some of my beans done, maybe I'll do an update on that, but that might not be till tomorrow. Well, see, that's also, I think, a type of willow. There's a bunch of different types of willows, but anyways, I wish I could find my weeping willow that I planted back in there. I don't know if it's still alive. Anyways, I just keep carrying on, so I'm gonna let you go. Bye, guys. Well, you know, I did just say that I was gonna be done with this video, but I lied because I just walked back up here, and that little patch, it used to be a little tiny patch of short willows, and it's completely overgrown, and it's like messing up the whole shape of my frontage that I set up. So I'm not going to be keeping that as a little habitat zone anymore. I'm just going to go ahead and get rid of it. Now, I messed up my little stick prop situation a little bit, so I got a dead burdock that I'm sticking in through here to help support this tablet. Hopefully it doesn't keep rocking back and forth. But yeah, let's just zippity-doo all this real quick. Now, I know a lot of people say, lady, you need a brush hog. Well, I got what I got. Oh, look, we have a supervisor. That is a Josephine the cat over by one of the Hanson's bush cherries, supervising. Okay, so I still got some little ones left. I just want to show you guys, since this was a thicker stand. Now again, these willows, if I didn't want to be more quick about it, these make good poles for different things. You can make tomato cages out of them. You can make trellises out of them, all sorts of stuff. And at the right time of year, you can even cut these and stick them in the ground when it's wet enough and just create living fences. You can kind of weave them together with some ties and stuff. But I just want to show you guys, again, wear eye protection when you do this, especially some of these bigger ones can throw some chips. So, here's, let's see if I can find a butt end one of these. Just to show you, a lot of these are kind of this thick. Some of them are pretty thick. Now, obviously, as you can see, I got all these nubs, but, I got bugs. But, as I was cutting through these, they were falling on me, and then obviously there's a lot of vegetative mass here that I've got to clear out. And then once I do that, I'll be able to take my brush cutter in through here and clear the nubs much closer to the ground, so that when I do get my lawnmower working again, that these nubs aren't going to be damaging my lawnmower. Because usually I don't go through willows that large with my lawnmower. I just go through some of the wispy ones. And sometimes like slightly medium size, like even sometimes this size my lawnmower can handle just fine. But it's that old 1996 MTD Ranch King that needs a bearing. I do abuse it. But yeah, I'm gonna have to come back through here after I eventually clear this brush out. I'm gonna let it just dry out here for a while. I'm not too worried about it. I did just want to get in through here. So let me... Oh, I do actually have a little bit of a blister, even though I was wearing gloves. So if you ever got like a lot of brush, I still got to get in through there, because my road frontage goes down quite a ways down there too, behind that little guardrail. But I will eventually put some nice specimen things. I do want a weeping birch tree to put on the hill one day. So this video obviously has gotten way longer than I was originally intending, but I thought you guys might have gotten a kick out of that. Now, I'm too lazy and tired to edit this and do like the before after frontage, but maybe one of these days I will. I'm gonna just put this as a Ryobi brush cutter demo, I think. This is my dappled willow. Look at this. So I've got a golden curls willow that I just bought today. My corkscrew willow is down there by the road. I'm going to be able to take cuttings of those. And willows actually root really well in water at the right time of year, especially. Now this is a Hanson's bush cherry. This one, I'm a little disappointed. The form of it is nice. It's like this nice round form compared to, I got a hazelnut over there, compared to this other Hanson's bush cherry. However, this one, in all of its, ugly form, now I could prune it up, make it look much nicer. This one has given me fruit this year. I planted these from little bare root twigs years ago, and they've been a little bit neglected, but I've got all sorts of little bush cherry fruits growing on here. So they're just sour cherries, and people would use them to make jam and stuff, but I might even be able to use it to like flavor some homemade kombucha or something like that, or some homemade lacto-fermented soda or something. So, we'll see how they actually come in. That one's getting a little bit pink already, but they're still little. They're real little still. This down here has got some big old pokey weeds, but this is actually a quince. And it's a flowering quince. It's not the fruiting quince, but, well, it had a really beautiful flower on it, but the color is just really great, but it looks like it went away, the flower. This is a really old apple tree here. But it doesn't get as buggy, and it is good for making stuff with the apples. One of these days, maybe when we harvest apples, I'll show you my handy dandy thingamabobber that peels apples and slices them at the same time. You just stick the core on and you just spin this little handle. This is also another quince, but it got lawn mowed. But it's a survivor, you know. I'm surprised. I cleared out a little bit of the weeds right around it, and I noticed somebody else's peony was blooming and looking beautiful, and you know, I have a peony that's back in here that is super buried. Oh, what is this? Oh my goodness. I spoke too soon. Oh my goodness, look at this. So it is, I didn't look deep enough past all these weeds. But oh, I do have flowers. So I'm gonna have to clear these out because I don't know why, I just love these. And that particular one was here when I moved in. There's actually all sorts of bulbs and stuff in here, but you wouldn't be able to tell right now. So anyways, you know, I also just wanted to apologize to Amazon because I realized that I've been all discombobulated and that today is Tuesday. I don't know why. I think I've even said Tuesday today, but then earlier I thought it was Wednesday, and that I thought my pond lighter and ring chain were late. But I suspect that is what came in while I was at the store. So I apologize, Amazon. Some of the stuff that I bought from you has been late, like my liquid rubber. But for my back patio that desperately needs help. But the pond liner is not one of the things that has been late. So anyways, we got Josephine. She just likes to hang out. She likes to be where the action is. I still didn't post that video of her catching that gopher and then bringing it to me as a gift. But it's okay. Hey, Josephine. She's got burdocks on her butt. Oh my goodness. Hello, Josephine. Do you want to say hi to everybody? Say hi right here. Yeah, okay. Okay, take it easy, everybody. Well, y'all, I lied. I said this video was going to be over, but I decided that since I am... Whoops, I gotta put this back on. Since I am kind of doing a demo of this Ryobi brush cutter, in case anybody ends up at this, not from my channel, but just want to check out this Ryobi brush cutter, it's this expand it situation. So now you loosen this thing, which I already did earlier, and then you gotta push this little thingamabob here. Sorry, I can't do this while I'm holding my tablet. Okay, so I took that off. Now this part, I can loosen this handle, this extra handle, and put on the other attachment, I think. But I'm not going to do that right now. I'm just going to take this and hook it up. Are the strings set proper right now? No. I never actually used this part before, even though I probably needed to multiple times. This is really not... Hold on a second. Whoa. Okay. Sure, I had to get this thingamabobber lined up with both hands. So I haven't set the strings, but I'm just gonna go down there. I'm gonna bring it down there real quick. It's cooled down a little bit, it's got gas, and we'll see how this little thingamabob works. Now I figure when I eventually get my string set, which I frankly gotta look up how to do that, because if I'm being real honest with you guys, I never used a string trimmer / weed whacker before in my entire whole life. I've got so many bigger things here that often has got to get whacked down that I usually just use my brush cutter attachment. Wow. I think after I put this tablet away, stitch these videos together to start loading this video, I'm going to try to do my entire frontage, this immediate area over here with this thingamabobber. So anyways, this thing is really quite nice, and I really look forward to maybe getting the pole saw attachment one of these days. So now, here is the little stop button, and then over here, they just put the instructions right on there on how to start this thing. And it's got a priming bulb over there, and the instructions are all up on here. So even though I hadn't used this in a couple years, it was really easy for me to just get it fired right back up. So anyways, I'm a big fan. I'm gonna go ahead and get rid of this tablet on me and actually get cracking on this, and I'll post an update video on my frontage one of these days, probably after I get it raked and everything and get these nubs. Look at all those nubs I got over there. I gotta get all that stuff whacked down eventually. So I'm just gonna go ham. I think I might be able to make the strings on the trimmer a little bit longer, and I'll be able to get even more area. Now, before I get cracking on the rest of it, I am gonna take that extra handle off of my brush cutter attachment and put it on there, because when you're swinging that thing around quite a lot, I find that this thing is helpful. So I'm gonna see if I can't get that off and attach it, and I'm gonna try to start loading this one up. Okay, so that is the Ryobi expanded brush cutter thingamabobber with different attachments. I'm a big fan.